Everybody, welcome back to the Performance Matters podcast. I'm Matrix here with Miles, and this is the first time recording an episode in the new studio. So if you guys are actually watching, this is the new Performance Matters podcast studio. So still got the ferns and LED light. Compliments to Jessica Mediz today. She can really decorate, and I'm sure there'll be other additions over time. But
I feel like I'm going to have to get a light on this side.
Yeah, I think that's...
It's only fair.
Yeah, don't worry. Already...
Same thing, but we just need maybe get a second one.
She'll get it. Don't worry. This episode is brought to us by Pete Menther Photography, the best and premier Niagara sportographer. Make sure you guys support local. You can reach out, PeteMentherPhotography@gmail.com. Always a big fan of the show. So a big thank you to Pete. Okay, today's episode, a lot of updates. First off, shout out to Matthew Donison. Considered for the draft for the MLB. Great conversations, and he has a very high ceiling. So first off, Donnie, good job on the work, and you're only going to get better from here. High ceiling. So first I want to shout out Donison, and then honestly, I think just talking about some other cool stuff coming up. First, for all of our athletes this past week, big kudos. It was great to see so many both young athletes and just regular folks getting after. Like, I wanted to give a shout out to Andrew Pillsworth. This guy's been he crushed it this morning. He was doing like pin squats too. I think he had like 140 on the fucking bar. So like, I think his goal is what, 160?
Yeah.
So 160 is the goal. He's pin squatting 140 or getting close to. So, big kudos to him putting on the work. I guarantee, I think by Squat-tober, he'll be fucking blowing out 160
yeah, definitely.
Pretty fucking steadily. And then also shout out to Ty Pierce. He's right now, he's in
Mr.
Shanghai.
Worldwide.
Yeah. He's with the Elite, I think Canada Volleyball Elite. I think that's what the team's called. He's in Shanghai, China, with, of course, Dale Melnick. She was also a guest on the show. So Ty's over there doing his therapy work in China. I think he'll be back later this week, or he's going to be jet lagged as fuck. But big shout out to Ty for fucking fighting the good fight. And then I think the final one is going to be, oh fuck, I had it on the tip of my tongue too. Who the fuck was the other one? There's something cool that happened. Oh, Carson. He put up a 200 kg Hatfield for 5. He put up a 200 kg Hatfield for 5 with room to go, and obviously he's fucking single leg hurdle hopping his fucking ass off, which is fucking incredible. So
throwing like crazy lately too.
Yeah, like what's the next step for him?
Hopefully looking to get somewhere maybe next January, if not next fall. Being like 2026.
Sick.
That's kind of the goal where he's looking to. Yeah, but a couple of good performances recently.
Yeah.
Right, provincials and stuff. So things are looking good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. Like, I think that'll be a big proud moment for when he gets his bag for sure. Like, he's been working his bag off for fucking years. So I think it's only good things to come. I'm excited to see what comes of it.
Well, it was cool because one of our athletes last night, not Carson, but this just reminded me, one of our athletes made a comment about how he knows people at certain gyms where, yeah, they work with elite athletes, but like something you've talked about in the past is, it's one thing to train elite athletes, it's another thing to develop them.
Yeah.
So looking at, or build them, I should say, yeah. So it's looking at a guy like Owen Taylor, had him since like grade 9, look at him now. Looking at somebody like Jared Tessier, had him since like grade 10, he's going to be in the CFL draft next year. Looking at Carson, same thing, since grade 9, now pursuing a Division I scholarship, hopefully with throwing. You can name another 30 kids or whatever, but that's something that I think we really hang our hat on. It's one thing to be able to work with elite athletes, it's another thing to be able to build them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of examples, and it's nice to see too. I think big shout out to the hockey crew that's been coming in. Like for example, Ben Moach, trained him since he was like grade 10.
Yeah.
Now he's graduating and going to Lindsay. So guys like that, like once they get a taste of the supplemental side, like at a high level, it's crazy how they almost like drink that Kool-Aid and be okay. Like this is it's almost like the naive versus ignorance, like what do you call it? Comparison. It's like naive being like you don't know what you don't know. And then ignorance being like but choose not to anyway, or choose to anyway. Right. So it's kind of like they thought they've been training, and all of a sudden, this is what it's supposed to look like. This is the actual what it's supposed to feel like, and else like that. Right. And then to see like once they kind of take the red pill, so to speak, right? They kind of see how deep the rabbit hole goes. It's crazy to see how quickly they develop. Like elite athletes tend to get elite very quickly because they're fast to adapt to feedback, fast to adapt to change. They can learn skills really quickly. They can pick up on the changes of those skills. So, guys like that, and then of course, Spade would be another example. Like he's only been here like 8 weeks or something like that, maybe going on 9. But, to take a guy that never squatted before, and now he's found a love for front squats, ironically, being a taller guy. You know, he's challenging himself every time he comes in here. I think he did 85 kg on pins today for a single.
Yeah, which is sweet. But did he? Was that 90 on the bench or was that 100? I had a video of it.
I think it was 90.
Was it 90?
I don't think
Either way, that was
I don't
pretty
think he
sweet
hit
triple.
100. I don't think he hit 100 yet, but
Yeah. Either way, I didn't know if it was a blue, a green, and a black, or a red. But either way, that was a pretty sweet triple for a guy with arms a mile long.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he put up a 55 kg snatch from a high hang for a single today.
Yeah.
Again, he's still
just
learning.
learning.
He's
Yeah.
still learning the technique, right? But again, very long limbs. But he's able to obviously do it like better. Like the skill is coming along. He's adapting really quickly. Same with even Aiden Zimmerman. Like his zerchers today were fucking immaculate. Like the positional holds for doubles. Like he was putting on 60, 65 kg by the end. But it was just the position itself. Like I think he found the knack for where to feel something. You actually able to hold the position, which is exactly what we wanted to do in the first place.
Right.
So to see that kind of come to fruition, okay, good. So now these guys are finally, they're getting very comfortable with the skills of these movement patterns.
Right.
And now it's okay. Now that we have a good grasp of that, like good enough, I would say. Now we can start to find out where's potential for those movements. Like, okay, it's whether it's like a heavier, slower force movement, or it's like something more explosive, something faster. They're just they're really wrapping their head around that, and that's cool to see. Where now they're like, they almost drank the Kool-Aid, red pill. They're asking better questions. They're trying to see what they're capable of, and they're able to find out what they're capable of, knowing that they have a good grasp of the skill.
Right.
I think that's where I love seeing it. And then I remember talking to Johnny today. It's always funny that because we're talking about like more hockey guys should be coming in here to develop.
Right.
Obviously, we're biased, but
that's a 30-year-old guy that's been at every level, and he's a different, right?
Yeah, he's different. He's like, yeah, more guys got to be doing this shit, and you know, he has experience. So it's crazy how we were talking this morning. He was like, it's always the guys in the middle of the pack that are just not doing the things they have the option to do. You know what I mean? Like they're more than capable of going to the gym doing those things. Like they're able to do that. But it's always the guys like the subpar guys that have a ceiling to, you know, kind of break away from that middle pack, maybe, or at least get close, or at least the top end of it, and they just choose not to because of whatever bullshit they tell themselves.
Right.
And it's fucking, and obviously it's frustrating, but it's like that's a choice they have to make.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like it's crazy how these more elite guys that also have, again, things going on, like, you know, Ben Moach, he's fucking working, like Johnny works, and they, you know, Wyatt works. All these guys are working, Mike Craig, all them. So it's like you have a whole bunch of guys and women that are you know, doing the things in life just to, you know, keep doing it.
Right.
And making the time, right? They're literally ensuring that they have the time to do the thing they have to do. But you see these like guys or girls that are like kind of right in that gray area. They're not outliers. Not like you're fucking the first round draft pick where like you can fucking eat McNuggets and you're still good enough. You're not that guy or that girl.
Right.
But you're in this gray area where you're fighting just to get to the top of the gray area. Instead of like doing the things you know you have the ability to do, you're choosing not to and defaulting back to the bullshit that you believe yourself to kind of fall back to. It's very frustrating, to be honest with you.
At the end of the day, excuses are just like the lies you tell yourself to make yourself feel better, right? There's high school kids working part-time or full-time jobs paying their own way for training. When they could easily, you know, people want to make barriers about whatever, but there's kids doing that, and then there's people that can find all these different excuses why they can't train or whatever.
Yeah.
Train with us, train with whoever, but people are just like, oh, I don't have time, I don't have the money, I don't have whatever. It's like, okay, well, somebody with less than you is doing more, like you've said before, right? So if that's what you want to believe, if that's a BS you want to tell yourself, like, all the power to you, but just know you're telling yourself a lie, right?
Find a way. I'm not saying it has to be the most perfect way. Like, take messy actions. Like, okay, these are the things you have to work on. And the best part is, too, like, again, you can't pick your parents. You can't control the genetic ceiling you've been gifted with or not gifted with. It's like, but you still have a ceiling relative to your own potential. So it's like, do whatever you can to find out the truth. Like, if you can at least look back and say, I took myself as far as I can go and did everything in my power to be the best I could be, then you can sleep easy at night. But it's like, if you're leaving these things on the table, and the easiest thing I would say is like, look, the physical side of things you can control. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you're just not the most skilled player. Maybe you're doing everything right, taking the feedback, but maybe you're just not that skilled. Okay, but if nothing else, the physical aspects, like, you can control, like, how hard you push yourself to whether get stronger, whether to get as explosive as you can, to get as fast as you can, to add as much lean mass as you can. Those are all things that you can do and control.
Right. Go to bed on time.
Like, those
try to put good food in your body, right?
Yeah, like, those are things like, they're right there. They're the low-hanging fruit on the table. It doesn't mean perfect. You don't have to get this fancy program, all this other shit. It's like, if you can't afford to train, absolutely totally understand that. But there's still something you do. You can still sprint, right? You can go to a park. You can fucking sprint. You can find some way to jump. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if you only can go to a Good Life or bullshit, it's like, that's fine too. They have bars and dumbbells. Find a way to just do something, right, athletic for your lower body. Then you can do a pump up top. that's fine. Like, those are very basics. And there's a ton of free resources that obviously we have and everyone else has that they can literally just at least get a general sense of some things that they can do to improve.
Totally.
But then having all that free resources and not taking any action, especially when you're in that middle group.
Yeah. You don't want it bad enough.
Yeah,
that's why I say it's always the difference between like a want and a wish.
Of course. Ideal.
If you're willing to actually do what it takes to get to where you want to be, like that's actually a want, in my opinion. If you say you want these things, but you're not gonna take those basic actions to try to like push yourself closer to them, just a wish.
Yeah.
No, you like don't lie to yourself. You don't want it. You just wish you could have it. You wish you could do it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
and that's why we try to post a. I think we try to post a balance of highlight reels of, hey, this is what our people are doing, and educational resources. Hey, here's some free game. Like, if you're a high school volleyball player who wants to, whatever, increase your vert, maybe you want to check these boxes. Hey, if you're a hockey guy and your so-and-so is always hurting, hey, maybe throw these into your workout. Like, we try to post educational free stuff for people too, so that no matter what your situation is, maybe you can take some value from us, even though if you're not in here training with us, that's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe there's still some value that you can derive, right?
No, I think we do and more than enough. And honestly, our community is more than enough to support.
Absolutely.
Like, for example, like big shout out to all of our training grant sponsors, like Scott Mescal at Arion Insurance, Darren Hendricks at Homes by Hendricks, Chris Laverick at Kennedy Stairs, Team Builder.
Right, Evan Mack.
Yeah, Evan McDonald, Evan and Jesse from Mac Inc. I think there's someone else. Obviously, we're gonna put Dave in there.
Yeah,
you know,
long time supporter.
Long-time supporter.
Core.
Yeah,
our neighbors.
Joe. Yeah,
best neighbors ever.
That's right, Joe Barbas at Core Equipment. So we have plenty of amazing people that believe in what we're doing and are literally sponsoring people to help support their endeavor for the summer to train. So it's like, plus all the free resources we have, and the ability for people to bring in somebody so they can learn. So
bring a friend.
There's a ton of opportunities for people to, at least nothing else, take some information that can be very practical to apply. So
and that's why we even have our 3 for 30 trial offer. Like, it's right in there. Hey, if you don't stick with us after 3 sessions, that's fine. At least let's have the best 3 sessions of your life.
Yeah, learn something.
And take something with you that you can
learn something.
Reproduce it and use into your own endeavors, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, learn something. Like, you get an opportunity to try, get coached, and practice some skills. Maybe you've done them before, maybe not. It's irrelevant. Either way, you're going to get coached on what those things, and you can upgrade or downgrade, whatever you want to do. But it's like, take the opportunity to develop in some way. Whether it's like learning a new skill so you can go on your own and practice, whether you want the full shebang, whatever that might be, right? Like, it's never just this. I don't know. I have a hard time empathizing or believing someone's like, oh, I want to do things, but this. It's like, you think you're the first one.
Well, yeah, I guess that's kind of what I was getting at.
You know what I mean? Like, you're the first one to have a school, have a job, and have to go to school, have sports and everything else like that. It's like, that's a life you chose.
I didn't come in last week because I had exams.
Bullshit.
I didn't come in last week because it was raining too hard.
Like, the fucking sunset, couldn't make it.
like
fucking hell.
I just don't really have a lot of sympathy for that or empathy for. Actually, I don't have any.
Zero. Zero.
It comes from a couple of things, I guess. It comes from my own athletic pursuits. It comes from, also, I had like the most supportive parents ever. I remember my dad like driving me to the gym there, like in like a legit tornado. Like, drive me to the gym, drop me off, come and pick me up after, because and I didn't really even have to push that hard. Like, Dad, take me to the gym. He's like, yeah, we'll be fine. We'll figure it. Like,
we'll figure it out.
So because I always was raised by that, and just watching my parents in different situations, like, just figure shit out. That's all they kind of ever knew, Then you get to university sports, and
same thing.
You really got to figure it out. like probably even more so, right? You got to do you more is expected of you than ever. You have less resources and support than ever, as far as like maybe mom or dad aren't around, or you got to cook your own meals, or like the list goes on. So I think just coming from that, I think that's why I really have no empathy for or sympathy for these people that make up these excuses, and like I said, it's just a lie you want to tell yourself to make yourself feel better and maybe help you sleep at night. But
I think specifically for like the high school age, like 14, 18, you like, if you're looking to go to the post-secondary or professional level, it's like, you think it gets any easier? Obviously, we talked about before.
Exactly.
It doesn't get easier. The whole point is, like, if you can create a system or routine that works for you, if you're 14, 18, and you go hard, like I'm talking, like, you figure out a structured routine where you're getting your lifts in, you're getting your practices in, you're getting your schoolwork done. Create that routine now, because all it's going to change when you get to university or whatever like that is going to be the exact same routine, just with better people at a faster pace. That's all it's going to change.
Yeah.
It's better to have that set and kind of grounded versus now you have to play catch up when you get there. It's like, oh, I have to do this, and this against better people at a faster speed. It's like, well, that's a really, really hard adjustment to do.
Right.
So you might as well create a routine where you've built up a tolerance and a capacity to this threshold, and then when you get to that next level, it's an easier assimilation versus, oh fuck, and now you're the guy or girl that's gonna get looked at and be like, oh, this guy can't keep up or hasn't done this or he's slacking here, and next thing you know, you're a talking point that's not in a good way. You know what I mean?
So we always say like you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your systems, which is really not very reassuring if you don't have any systems, right?
Yeah.
If you have no systems, where are you falling to? You're falling off the ledge, so to speak.
Yeah, if you're it's not even, again, it's not about being the most skilled player. It's just like, do you have the discipline enough to create a routine and stick by it? It's literally that simple. Like, it sounds simple and it's hard to do, obviously, but it's really simple in respect. Just keep the promises you said to do yourself. It's like, if you want to build that self-confidence, it's literally just trust, right? I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I trust myself to do what I say I'm going to do. Doesn't matter if you like it or not. That's irrelevant. Doesn't matter if you want to or not. That's also irrelevant. If you made a commitment to something, regardless of what it is, sport, practice, training, job, school, whatever, if you said I'm going to do this, then you have an obligation to do what you said you're going to do. Not for someone else, but for what you said you're going to do.
Right.
Because every time you break a promise to yourself, it becomes easier and easier to say something and then not do it. So then where does self-confidence come from?
Right. You'll never have any.
You'll never have any self-confidence. People can say you're a confident guy. It's like, yeah, but you don't follow through with anything. Why is that? It's because you don't do the things you said you're going to do.
Right.
It's simple. If I say, I'm going to go to the gym today, I didn't say set a PR. I didn't say you're going to sprint a certain time.
I'm going to walk my ass in there.
I'm going to walk my ass in there and do what I said I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Right? And then you can figure it out when you get there. But at least you can say, hey, I said I was going to go train today. I trained today.
Right.
Right? I'm going to go practice. I didn't say it was going to be a great practice. It doesn't matter if it's a good practice, hard practice, easy practice, whatever practice. I said I'm going to go to practice today on time. You do that. And the more you do that, the more confidence you build, because the things you say you're going to do, you actually accomplish, and then that's how you build confidence. It's trust. It's literally keep trusting in yourself to do what you say you're going to do.
And this is why, like, there's some times when we have a kid that's, say they're getting recruited to play whatever sport, and they're like, oh, but like they're not offering me any money like right away, or oh, they don't think I'm going to play till third year, or they don't. I'm like, please go anyways, please go. Like, other than just the you putting the jersey on and playing whatever sport, I'm like, there's so much more value that you will derive from that experience that you cannot replicate any other way. I will say that confidently. I mean, being a varsity athlete is the only path I know, but I just remember so many, like, I love this story. I remember being in a class one time, I think it was in first year.
Yeah.
And one of my classmates was like, oh man, there's just no time to do anything. And at that time, I was feeling the same way, too. I'm like, fuck, man, you're right. Like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah,
like,
it's a new experience.
So I was like, what team are you on? And I'm in Kent, so, like, there's a lot of athletes. What team are you on? Oh, no. Like, I'm not on a team. So, oh, okay. I'm like, you got a job? Because I had both. Like, I had a part-time job. I had the thing going, the sports thing going. I'm like, oh, you got a job, though? Like, oh, no. I'm like, oh. Okay, like how many classes are you in? Usually I was like 4 during football, 5 in the winter.
Yeah.
And that kind of times you up for 4.5 semesters, right? And just it made more sense for us because we only compete in the fall. So some guys do 5. I always felt better with 4 and then 5.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how many classes are you in? Thinking like, well, I got to be at least 5. You got nothing else going on. You might have said I'm in 4, I'm in 3, I'm a part-time student. I'm like, okay, so we're just not speaking the same language. And
it's relative, eh?
I'm judging them, but I'm actually not. Like, I'm just like, okay, so you just... That's kind of the moment where I realized how powerful, like, man, I love football, but, man, it's really hard, and the school thing is hard, but, like, this is an irreplaceable experience that I'm experieing right now, right? And I just know I'm going to be better for it in the end, right? First year, not even playing, not even dressing on Saturdays, but at least going through it and learning how to manage my time and try to manage all my different responsibilities and keep all the plates spinning, right? And I was like, I just don't see how any other student could experience those same things without being part of a team. So I'm like, when these kids, back to my original point, if you have an opportunity to go play a sport at second level, college, university, whatever, even if it's not, you're going to start on day one, you're going to whatever, like, please take it.
Yeah.
The networking you're going to experience, the different like life skills, I just don't think there's any other medium in this world that can teach you those things as well as sport can. I don't care what sport you play. I don't think there will ever be anything like that.
No, it really is a skill learned, and I think, again, talking to all the coaches we've had on the show, they all kind of say relatively the same thing, where kids are now more entitled and kind of things are always handed them. Yes and no, obviously, but I think there is a portion where now there's a very high expectation. Oh, if I'm going to first year university, I should be getting paid X, Y, and Z. It's like, okay, well, based on what? Because,
based on what?
Based on what? You know what I mean? Like,
because I was the best kid on my high school team. Yeah, just like every other guy or girl in your recruiting class was the best on their high school team.
Yeah.
So what?
Like,
from a club team or whatever.
I think they get more caught up in the pizzazz of, oh, I'm signing somewhere. It's like, yeah, you're wearing the jersey, and
Yeah.
it's no different than these high school signings to whatever clubs. I think it's just very glorified. Don't get me wrong, it's fun, it's cool to
Yeah.
celebrate those wins, and absolutely. But I
And
think
it's an accomplishment that not everybody can get. So, like,
yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
good for you.
Yes, but let's
Now
kind
what?
of that's you can you could ride the wins and the valleys and
Yeah.
peaks of wins and losses. But you can't live there. So it's like, okay, good, you're there. Like, so what's the next step, and what does it look like? You can't just kind of ride that high for too long and have this victory hangover where now everything is compromised and you're kind of getting left behind. So I think there just has to be like some humility. It's okay, like this is still an opportunity. If you're getting accepted somewhere, it's like, well, if you want to do school anyway, you might as well play sports and they give you a little something for it, fantastic. Even if they don't give you something for it, it's still an opportunity for you to do something that, a very small fraction of people get to do, and it's something you love to do anyway. You might make some lifelong friends, you might network, whatever. Like there's all these substrates that come from it that they don't really think about. And it's just the value of someone holding you accountable at the next level too. It's not like high school where like, your parents hold you accountable and everything else like
Right.
that and whatever some degree. And university, no one gives a fuck about you.
Yeah.
You're an adult. You're on your own. Mom's your family kind of helping you all that shit. But
Mom and dad can't call your prof and get your
no,
marks. Mom and dad can't.
Like you're an adult. And I think
Yeah.
we have to continue to build autonomy in these young students because it's in a very abrupt change as soon as they turn 18. Okay, you're an adult now.
Right.
It's like, well, if you don't have experience, asking questions and trying things on your own, you're gonna be fucked. So then
Totally.
when you play university sports or the next level of sports, there are gonna be expectations of you, and that's okay.
The sport itself is so much harder. The school is so much harder, and with less, they're not taking attendance in class and calling your mommy when you don't show up. So like, there's so much more that you have to manage, and it's funny because I remember I was talking to Cassie Robinson last week, and like it was pretty refreshing because I kind of asked her, what was your experience going from club volleyball to university, and she was like, not club to university, but I think she went to like a university, like a practice with her team.
There's a camp.
A camp that with the team that she's going to, and she was like, "Man, I don't know what sport I was playing before, but I don't know if it was volleyball because this feels like a whole different sport." And I'm like, I said the same exact thing, like word for word, when people were asking me when I was coming out of high school. So I'm like, it was cool to see her have the same experience, and it kind of made me feel, I don't know if validated is the word, but I remember the same thing. Guys were like, "What's university football like?" And I was like, man, I had some great times in high school. I had fun. I love my coaches, but I'm like, I don't know what the hell sport I was playing because this is so different. The technical side, the tactical side, obviously the schedule, like in a good way. But I was blown away when I got there, and I'm like, oh, we watch film of practice. Like in high school you watch film of games. I get this, so now I'm like, oh fuck, you got nowhere to hide. Like I always think I'm a high effort guy, but I'm like, thank God because like you get to university and you're watching like the pre-practice stuff where you're kind of it's like. Free play, for lack of a better word, just call it early outs, and you go out and kind of work your own thing. You're watching that sometimes. Then you're watching like the individual drills that you guys call like drilling. Like you're watching that, making sure you're stepping 2 inches instead of 1, or like you got to get your foot on a more 60 degree than a 45, or all these little details. I'm like, oh my god, like this is like a whole nother level. Like quite literally, it's a whole nother level. But that's kind of like what did it for me right away when I was like, oh, we watch like you watch games, like any sport, like any level. But I'm like, oh, we watch practice, like. Right away, I knew like, okay, I'm gonna get so much more exponentially better because of that. But also, I just realized how much more is involved in it. So it was cool to see Cassie have the same experience I had. Long story short, like about 10 years apart of me going there and her going now to Nipissing, like it was cool to hear her say those words. And I was like, man, that kind of brought me back, in a good way. Because I remember saying that exact thing. I don't know what sport I've been playing for the last 7 years, but it sure as hell wasn't football because this is different.
No, it's again, they don't know what they don't know. They think they know, and that's fine because until you have experience, or like, again, take the red pill for example, you go to that next level, you're like, oh shit, now this is what that means. Yes, now you know.
And even as a recruit, you go watch practices and you watch training camp and you watch games, but until your boots on the ground, like
it's different.
In that position, it's just so different in a good way.
No, it's necessary. Again, that's also just a test of resiliency in that alone. It's like it's scary, it's nerve-wracking. Everyone has their own agenda there. Like you're trying to take someone's spot, someone else is fighting for their spot, might be older than you, whatever, like better, whatever. So it's like it's this whole nother level of like, again, you have to have some trust in yourself and be okay making mistakes and failing and still proceeding forward in any way. You know what I mean? And it's that same message we always circle back to for our younger athletes. Like you need experience making those decisions. You need experience because again, it's very abrupt. Like the system's the way it is. It's like you graduate and then all of a sudden you're off to live on your own, and then you're thrown in against. You're 18. You're thrown against like 21, 22, maybe 23-year-olds.
Right.
It's different, So some are obviously more inclined than others to handle that, but still, it's like you can kind of prepare them for what's to come. Like you should be building those basics. Like, hey, go to sleep on time. Prioritize certain things in your calendar.
Right.
Being comfortable saying no to something. Getting good at asking questions. getting good to talking to coaches. Like, have those independent conversations so you can learn how to do it, because when you get there in a couple of years, it'll happen like a fucking smack in the face. And then if you're not comfortable doing that and you default back to mommy and daddy trying to save you, you're going to be the first one out the fucking door, man. Like, there's no patience for that. Like, people have no patience. Like, it's already bad enough that coaches don't want to hear from. It's crazy how there's the coaches just don't like parents at the next level. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. I don't mean like they don't like them as like people. I think they just don't like the perception, because it's had such a bad rap where you have these kids where parents try to always get in the way and defend their kid. And don't be wrong, I understand. You want what's best for your kid, but they're not a fucking kid anymore.
Yeah.
Right? And you should be preparing them for that at a younger age. Like, let them be autonomous enough to have a conversation, be able like, hey, like, you know, recently, for example, we have a co-op student who won't be named, but it's like, if you want to do something else, then why don't you ask?
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of having so-and-so teacher, you know, do something on your behalf. It's like,
call it like,
have a conversation.
Exactly.
Have a conversation. You know what I mean? Because, like, what do you think that, again, no problem. If you want to go, absolutely. Go about your way. But at least you can walk away with respect. Like, yeah, that person actually, you know, approached, had the conversation, and left. Good.
Exactly. What are we teaching the kids? What are we enabling
What are you teaching them? Yeah, you're enabling them. Oh, I can just do this, and then so-and-so will do it for me. Are you fucking mad? You know what I mean? So same thing with sports. Like, you don't always say anything, oh, mom will say something for me. Like, oh, tell mom, dad, and they'll go talk to them. It's like, well, fuck, okay? You know what I mean? Like, go ask your coach. If you have a question about playing time, go talk to your fucking coach. If you have a question on what to do for this drill, ask your fucking coach. If you have a problem, talk to the fucking coach.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like,
the two comments that stand out in my head that really made me realize it was like a different level too. You know, you're at that level, you're getting screamed at a lot, left, right, and center every day, and you don't take anything to offense, or you don't take it personal.
Yeah.
But the two comments that like really kind of put it in perspective for me, I remember it was my first training camp, and it wasn't even yelling, it wasn't swearing. Actually, it was probably three comments. The first one, coach said to one of the guys in my recruiting class, we were watching, I think he was half-assing one of these drills. Like, we're not even in 12-on-12 team, it's just a drill. And he's probably thinking, oh, I'm just going to walk through whatever. And the coach was like, hey, so-and-so, if that's the fastest you can move, I made a mistake recruiting you.
Simple.
Just like that.
Simple.
Not screaming. What? No, just like that. Says to another guy who was an older guy, listen, I like players that get me paid and put food on my kid's table. If you can't do it, I'll just find someone else. Like that, quiet, you know?
Yeah.
This is not my first training camp. And this one I really am realizing, like, mile a minute, like, okay, what's going on here? What's at stake? Says to this one guy, hey, so-and-so. This guy was, like, incredible. Played, I think, 7 years in the CFL after this. But he said to him, hey, so-and-so, if you're rated number 1 in the upcoming draft, I would fucking hate to see 2 and 3. Damn. Swearing, but not screaming, like nothing like that. Damn. Just in front of the whole team, from like just a little stupid, maybe he I don't even think it was like a horrible play, he didn't get burned like crazy. Just like that, right? And like right in that kind of moment, I kind of realized, okay, this is different. Not only that, like when you're in high school, it's one thing to be in a high school game where like if you're playing club, like you're playing Spears or whatever, and like you see scouts at the game, like that's obviously cool. And there's an added level of pressure, whether you want to admit it or not, that you want to play well and everything. Then you get to university, and there's like CFL scouts at practice. Mm-hmm. At games, obviously, but they're at practice. So like now, like you said, when you show up as a bright-eyed and bushy-tailed 18 or 19-year-old, depending on whatever, and you're like, oh, it's practice, we're going to go through the motions, we're going to learn, like, some of those guys are trying to knock your head off, even though you're on a team together, because they're trying to make a living playing football. Yeah. And there's scouts there watching practice, they need to show up and show out, so you can't take it personal, and you got to be ready for it, like, on day one. Yeah. You're getting thrown out of the frying pan into the fryer on day one against people that are, like you said, older, more developed, but also they have a lot more to lose at that point in their life than you do because they're trying to have a career in this game, right? So
yeah, that's the life. But that's the life you chose.
Exactly.
That's the life you chose.
Exactly.
You can't be upset about it. It's like, well, you chose to do sport and understand. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with the expectation. If, like, for example, you're on an A team, right? Whether you're 15, 16, whatever. Like I'll focus mostly on the high school age. Like let's say 15 to 18, you, right? At that level, understand, and just like Dale was great for this too. Like they're looking at you at probably grade 10 and start talking to you end of grade 10 year because that's what's allowed. So like they're already looking at you. And again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Like hockey's weird that way too. You're getting drafted to the OHL at 15 years old.
Can't even drive a car.
Can't even drive a car yet. But you're all of a sudden next year going to a different city, living in some stranger's house. Like you don't have to agree with the system, but that's just the way it is, and that's how it is.
It's not changing anytime soon.
It's not changing anytime soon. So you might as well. You can't fight it. You might as well prepare for it.
Yeah.
And so okay, like if you're at this level, if you're on an A team, there are going to be expectations of you. And if you don't want that, that's okay, then don't play on this team.
Right.
Right? Like, whether it's fucking volleyball, hockey, basketball, I don't care. It's like you've
Yeah.
earned the right to represent this group. You have accepted the terms of this team. Like, we are here to win or
Right.
move up in the ranks in this season. These are the things that we're going to expect of you. And if you choose not to do it, that's okay. But understand that this is not for you. Back out now. If you
Right.
say, yes, I'm in, then you'll be held accountable to those standards. It's very straightforward. You don't have to like it, but you can respect the fact that it was very transparent.
Totally.
All right? And there will be
Yeah, you
consequences.
will not be surprised.
You will not be surprised.
Or blindsided.
And if there will be consequences. And if you have problems with that, don't fucking play for this team.
Right. What's that Spider-Man? Great power becomes great responsibility. It's
that's
funny,
what-
but it's true though.
That's the life you chose. It's
Yeah.
like it's no longer supposed to be like, because it becomes more like a job. I'm not saying that's you
Yeah.
can't have fun with it. I'm saying, but there's higher expectations, which means practices are no longer going to always be fun and bubbly. I'm not saying you can't have the joy in it,
Right.
but there is a task and objective that coaches need to have acquired,
Right.
especially in university and pro, where like it's salaries on the line.
Right.
Why? Like, no coach is going to lose their wife, their kids, their salary, their house for you. They will find someone.
Especially
to do.
not for your feelings.
No, zero. Feelings are not facts. They're not truth. We have to
Right.
understand that you don't have to like the truth, but you can respect that's the truth. It's not my truth, your truth. It's the truth.
Yeah.
And if the organization that you are chosen to represent has laid it out very clear what the expectations are, and you choose not to do the thing, there will be consequences, and you must accept them. Should you not, you're done.
Right.
That's okay because you agreed to it.
Right.
And kids
because
need to learn.
It's a really cool job, probably the coolest job in the world, being a pro athlete, but it's still a job.
It's a job.
That's a thing. Like, and you know what's cool is, well, what I think is reassuring or hopeful is that every pro guy or girl that we've trained that I've asked, they've always said the jump from high school / club to university is way harder than the jump from university to pro. University to pro, guys or girls are way better because it's the best of the best, but like the systems aren't that different. They're not
Yeah.
that much more sophisticated. You're used to the coaching. You're used to the lifestyle. So it's kind of like hopeful for these kids where, hey, if you can get over this first hump, if you are so fortunate to earn a opportunity one day to go pro, that jump won't actually be nearly as difficult as this one was in a lot of ways. Like, I
Yeah.
remember talking to Mario and asking from his first training camp in the CFL, like, oh man, how different is it? Like, and he was like, man, it's a crazy jump. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I'm playing against guys who played at Clemson. I'm playing against guys who have been in Super Bowls. Like, that's really hard. But he's like, the jump from high school to college was way harder. Now I know how to watch film. I'm learning more, obviously, but I know how to watch film. I know the schedule. I understand the expectation. And it was even funny because I said, we used to get reamed at university, like, more often than not. Like I said, you hear the message, not the tone. So we never took it personal, but you just become used to it. And I was like, so if they're screaming at that level, like, pro must be crazy. And he was like, no, honestly, it's not, because it's just a job. And they'll be like, hey, man, your job is X, Y, Z. If you can't do it, I'll just find a guy who can. Like,
Yeah.
we can bring in a guy tomorrow, right? You can have dinner on Delta. Tell us if you want a window or aisle seat. Okay, what you want for dinner, and we will have you replaced by somebody tomorrow. It's really not personal. I don't like you any less, right? We just have a job to do.
It's a job. Yeah.
Right? So all that to say, young athletes out there, if you can get through that first transition from club and high school to university, that next jump actually is in some ways easier, at least simpler, or less of a shock. Not easier, but less of a shock.
Yeah, and I think just the expectations are more finite and very.
Yeah.
I think they're even more clear cut because it is just that. It's like,
Yeah.
I need you to do this. If you can't do that, next man up, you're gone.
And you don't even have to do school anymore. Now you're just this
Yeah,
job.
that's all it is. It's like, next man up, you're gone. The high
Yeah.
school level is like, you feel there's a bit of a responsibility, but it's our job to teach them and not enable them to just keep pushing the line the wrong way.
Right.
And accept it. It's like, no. And again, there's people out there, if that's what you want to do, you go ahead and do that. For
Right.
us in here, no. It's like, we have expectations because we have people at that level. We know what it looks like to get there, and we know what it's going to take to get there, and we'll be very upfront. If you're not following basic expectations, right? If you're not following those expectations, we'll tell you.
Yeah.
You have to stay in line, right? It's very black and white. And again, don't get me wrong. It's like, things happen. We're very flexible in that shit. Absolutely, we have a great time. But we still have a job to do. We need to improve the capability of our athletes and our people. So it's like,
if you haven't, if we and the athlete that comes in to train with us become like best buddies, and they get 0% better, and they don't get any closer to that scholarship they're pursuing, or like we've done it, we failed them, or they don't become any more prepared for the style or the level of coaching that they're about to receive, as far as tone, as far as expectation. Oh, but I had a really fun time there. Like, that place is great. No, like, I've actually failed you.
yeah.
I've done you a disservice.
Yeah, we're trying to prepare them for what's next.
Totally.
Both, not only just the physical side of things, but also the expectation side of things. Like, we have expectations. Our expectations will grow as you grow.
Totally.
Right? But we're not going to compromise our expectations because you feel a certain way. If it's not a fit, it's not a fit. Then
Right.
Go find where you're fitting best at.
Because at that point, I'm doing you a disservice.
Yeah, it's like if I accept these lower expectations that we have, it's like then I am doing you a disservice. This is not a good fit for you. If you feel it's a better fit somewhere else, go somewhere else. I am fine with that. And again, we have a proven track record. Like it was great getting a call from the director of performance at Tampa Bay Lightning, and they had great things to say about Grant. They complimented us for the work we're doing. So it's like people are that to me is a big compliment. Not only because it's nice to hear from other, it's refreshing to hear other coaches just give coaches, good feedback and
in an industry where everybody holds it too close to the
chest, where everyone's like trying to defend their way. It's nice to say, hey man, like these are some things that we're continuing to work on with him, and you guys did a great job. Like we were very impressed with him. Like that's great. That means we were helping him assimilate into that level as smoothly as possible. So it's like, okay, great. Like that's what you want to hear. So when he goes to that camp, they were like, okay, good. Like this is what we wanted to see. He came in ready to go.
What I love about it the most is it was positive, it was supportive, like towards you about the training process. But there was still feedback built in there. He still needs to work on this, that, and the other, but he's in a good spot. So it wasn't just
quantifiable things like, hey, you're doing a great job. These are things we want to continue to work on. I'm like, perfect. We'll have them ready for September.
Exactly.
Done.
Because some athletes just want to hear that good. But again, there you go. The highest level of hockey in the world, they're going to still tell you, which I would hope they would, and you would hope they would, and you would appreciate.
Absolutely.
They're still going to tell you, these things are good, these other things need to be better. Perfect. Honestly, thanks, coach. Like, if a coach ever told me, like, yeah, he's good, yeah, she's good, like, to the kid, I'd be like, man, I don't really think they care about you. Because they didn't even take the time to tell you, like, what you need to work on.
What is that? What does that mean? Like, you're doing a great job. If you're not, find something objective that they can actually fix, not just something like, oh, yeah, that was great. And it's like, well, what was great?
The Olympic gold winner has coaches who is giving them feedback. So I'm like, if your coach isn't looking to give you feedback, it's more of a red flag than anything.
Yeah, like I think again, circling all back, kids have to be okay taking feedback and understand they're not going to like it, but they have to respect it.
The kids have to be willing, kind of like I was getting to before, willing to take a risk and bet on themselves. Because I can name you, like probably what I'm most proud of, I think so far in my career is like the number of kids, I'm not going to name any names, it's obviously privacy, but the number of kids who went to a school to play a sport as like money guys, and after a year or two or even a semester, like earned money. Like those are the stories that I really kind of hang my hat on.
Yeah, you buried yourself in there and just stuck it out.
There's some funny stories of guys getting called into the office and, oh man, I thought I was in shit. Like it's like anytime, your girl says we got to talk. Like you're going to start thinking like everything you've ever done wrong.
The preconceived knowledge, like, oh, fuck.
Or your teacher, your principal in high school, and you're like, oh, I'm going to think of everything. You already think of defenses of things that haven't even been, accused of you yet. So anyway, I remember, like, I could tell you 4 or 5 stories of this, at least, of guys that went in as like non-money guys or whatever, and coach just said, hey, we got a meeting at this time, like, you got to be here, like, and you think, fuck, like, you start thinking about, you already justifying that the pass you dropped last game or the block you missed or the whatever.
You're looking at fucking everything that went wrong, and you're just like, fuck, what's really going to tear me about now?
And you walk in, and there's a paper on the desk, or they say, hey, check your email or something, and like these guys, like to me, like that's the moments that I really am the proudest of, guys that. So if you went in as a non-money guy, like at one point they thought you weren't worth, not that they thought you were worthless, but they thought you were not worth their financial investment. Yeah. And now you are. Like that's objective proof that your process and your approach and everything are working and they are worth it. And it's you can go through your whole career and not be a money guy ever and still have a great career and all that. But it's just that little extra bit of justification, I think, and reassurance that everything you're doing is worth it, right?
Yeah. Again, you have to earn and prove. Yeah. Like just because you think you're worth something doesn't mean you are. Like that's how you feel. And,
right.
And reiterating again, like feelings aren't facts and feelings aren't truth. It's like, again, you could say your house is worth $5 million. You put it on the market. Everyone's giving you $550, $600, $575. No, it's worth $5 million. It's like, well, no, the market's dictating you at $575. Yeah.
Until you find someone that'll pay you $5
million. Until you find
mil,
someone's going to pay you $5 million, you're not worth $5 million. Like,
it's,
you think this potential, that's fine, but it's like, you have to at some point compare it to the reality and say, okay, is this actually true?
Totally.
You know what I mean? No different than sports. Like, you can say, I should be getting this. Like, based on what?
Right.
If no one's offering you anything, maybe that's an answer in its own. Like, maybe there's something we're missing that we have to go back and review and, like, get back to the drawing board here and find something to improve. What do they want to see? Start asking better questions. Right. You're not invited to Team O. You're not invited to Team Canada.
Right.
What is it that's missing? What do they want to see from their Team O or Team Canada athletes? If you don't even have the autonomy to go out and seek those answers, then you're not even ready for that level to begin with.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, get to know what they want. Get to know what they're looking for, so you have something to work towards instead of just shooting from the hip and saying and believing everyone's everyone's, yeah, you're great, you're this, you're that. It's like, well, until someone actually puts you on the team or offers you a spot,
Right. There's no proof.
there's no proof to say how great you think you are.
Right.
Potential improvement doesn't exist. You know what I mean? So it's like, same thing. You can tell me how fast you are. Okay, get in the line. Well. It's like, well, then you're not proven.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it's one of those things, like I said, I think from our end, it's reiterating the expectation, being very transparent, being very point blank, and holding them accountable to a higher standard, not defaulting to it. And then on the athlete side, it's like, if that's the life you're choosing, then be prepared for what comes with it and get used to it. Build up a tolerance for it, and then continue to be curious about what that next level looks like and what they expect of you, so you can continue to work on those things and not default back to, oh, it's uncomfortable this, and look for someone to pass it to blame. Because nobody fucking cares.
And that's easy. That's so easy.
Nobody fucking cares.
Right.
It's easy. You can tell whatever fucking story you want. Understand that nobody fucking cares of what you didn't do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I said.
Tragically hip, I think.
Yeah, fucking.
What's interesting, something you didn't do is that Wheat Kings.
Yeah, it's
true.
It is true.
You've been saying it since what, the 80s or 70s or whatever the hell?
Yeah, nothing drives me more insane than hearing kids like, I played this team. They're trying to like justify how good they are.
Yeah.
And again, those are like those middle pack players.
Yeah.
And the best athletes that we have don't even talk about those things. They just show up. Because again, it's like the old saying we tell our kids, like, we never heard a tough guy tell us how tough he is.
Right.
I've never had a great player tell me how great they were. I've never had a smart guy tell me how smart he was. I've never had a skilled guy tell me. They don't have to speak about it.
Right.
Because again, the market will dictate their value. People will know if they're good. They don't have to tell everyone. The market will find out if they're good, and then that's why they get to the next level, because people recognize how good they are.
Right.
It's not from them telling how great they are all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying don't believe your own hype, but I'm saying at some point your actions will speak of your value versus what your worthless words will hopefully be put out in the universe and maybe dictate something.
Right.
It makes no sense to me. You know what I mean? Like it's a simple thing. And speaking of proving shit, obviously, like, it was cool to see Angel and Grant go at it on the 20-yard dash. Big shout out to both Angel and Grant, because honestly, like, it takes a lot of nuts to just put on the line, especially in front of a bunch of people.
Competition breeds success.
Yeah, you know what? Kudos to both of them, man. That was a fun matchup to watch. They went at it. You know what I mean? And Grant learned something. You know what I mean? Like, but again, shout out to him for trying. Like,
Grant's really fast.
He's fast
For a hockey guy.
Yeah. He's fast for that. You know what I mean? It's all relative. The next matchup I want to see is going to be fucking Carson and Angel. Which
Carson brought up to me, eh? He said, tell Angel I want him.
Yeah. I'll put money on that one.
Well, St. Mike's matchup.
I'll put money on that.
Mustang matchup. We got to see the other odds were pretty skewed, so we're going to have to set the odds a little bit more. We got to think a little more about it.
Yeah. We'll put something
Who's favored and probably not by much. I think I had Grant at plus 300. I think that was probably a little generous. He probably should have been like plus 1,000.
Yeah. That should have been a bigger bet. But maybe on July 26th. For all those listening, on July 26th, we're having an athlete combine. It's like a summer send-off. There'll be barbecue and everything else like that. You can check, obviously, our Instagram page, but also check your emails and stuff like that. There's a link to this summer send-off combine. Cash prizes. We're testing a whole bunch of metrics, kind of like a mini end-of-summer combine where guys and girls can just test their jumps, test their sprint times, some power stuff, and then, relative to their body weight and everything else like that, they're going to be cash prizes. So we're going to try to keep it as relative as possible. So obviously, things that might have a more advantageous thing for certain folks will kind of be diluted out. So at least that way everything's relative. So July 26th, 12 o'clock till 2 p.m. Make sure you mark your calendars. If you guys want to show up, it'll be a good send off to the summer season for a lot of our athletes. And then, honestly, like I said, competition will breed success. So why not kind of put it on the fucking line, right?
Totally.
But yeah, other than that, it's been. I think we're now looking towards the fall and the winter season, which, again, we love that part of the year because it's like everyone goes back to do the job that they've been recruited to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now it's get to, okay, let's see how battle tested we can be.
Right.
And then obviously all of our young athletes come back for teamwork and in-season stuff. So there's a ton of things that we're looking forward to there. And what I'm very excited about coming up is obviously going to be hanging out with John Berardi with our new sprint harness. I think that's going to be exciting down the track. For those listening, I think we're very competent at programming sprint stuff, but I'll be honest, I am not the best sprinter by any means, right? But I'm very excited to go on the track with John Berardi and a couple of the athletes and just test this new device to see what the resistance feels like and see how we can implement it. Like, this fall, I want to get on the track too with them and just see if I can go to some practices and just hop in.
You need to get into rooms where you feel stupid. You need to get into rooms where you feel inadequate's not the word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
If you're the strongest guy in the room, smartest guy in the room, blah, 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 you're not in the right room type thing.
Exactly.
The other day, having Brad Martin come by.
That was cool.
And teach me some of that mace stuff. Like, I'm a huge skeptic. Okay, anything that's not a barbell, dumbbell, sled, I'm like, med ball, do we really need it? Like, come on. having him come by and teach me some of that stuff, and the way I felt during and after that I was like, man, like I haven't felt this motivated to learn something in a while in this physical regard. I haven't felt this stupid, or I felt like a baby deer at a couple of times, and it was awesome. Like
it's foreign, it's foreign to you.
So shout out to Brad for taking his time and sharing his knowledge and that, coming down and teaching me and Austin, putting us through the paces. And again, like to think I'm a decently strong guy, but I was getting my ass kicked by I think it was like a 30-pound mace. Brad is like much older than me. He's swinging the 50-pound mace, making it look easy, right? So like that was a really cool feeling, and I feel like with sprinting with John on the track, we'll feel the same thing again.
I'm excited for it.
I want to go there and feel useless. That's what I want.
I'm
right?
excited. I'm very excited to learn. And again, it's crazy because he picked up track, and again, he's buddies with Stuart McMillan, like one of the best sprint guys in the fucking world. So even just being able to practice, being able to go out there and just try something new and just feel what I would hope that some track athletes feel, so I can hopefully better coach and kind of parallel what they might be feeling, so I can relate to it a little bit.
Totally.
I think you can never go wrong by just putting yourself out there to learn something fucking new, and I think we've done a really good job of that, especially like learning all these different new drills, and I think just being more open to this whole different side of training in particular. And we've been experimenting with our athletes, and we've been getting some good feedback, some good feelings, and even with our Riverlines guys, like they've by the way, shout out to Riverlines because we just fucked up Vancouver. We need to keep that fucking energy. Keep that fucking energy, because you know what? There's hope. You know what I mean? Like, let's repeat this bitch. Let's run it back and do it again. Let's go back to back. Let's get double rings, man. We need to load the hands up here. But I think we've been very open with the learning process for a lot of these new things, and even talking to John yesterday. Like I said, the harness I'm excited about, obviously. And he gave some good ideas too. Like maybe we'll start looking at the force plate metrics in a different light, where we can start getting maybe a master's student to actually do the research side of things, or get a paper published. Because for those that don't know, we look at a lot of normative data from a variety of sports. The issue being, though, is that a lot of the normative data is taken from these elite athletes at the highest level in the NCAA, pro, male, female, etc. So it's hard to compare now this normative standard for high-end athletes for those that might be in the younger ages, like 14, 18. And again, you might argue, well, it might not be as relevant, maybe, but nonetheless, it would be nice to have a pool of data for a variety of metrics that might matter for athletes of different sports, different ages, different body types, etc. So you have something to compare it to. And I think we were talking with Adam Fight a few months ago on this too, that there's not really a huge normative data pool for force plate stuff, sprint stuff, etc. for the high school ages in a variety of sports. So that's something where we're collecting a lot of numbers, right? We're trying to standardize more things so we can actually have a more relevant comparison.
It's funny because some people will argue, like you said, how, well, they're in high school, like just do basic training, they'll be fine. Okay, but Tim Riley made a good point on his one podcast. I can't remember who the guest was, but he was like, people argue that you can't use advanced training methods too early because, you're robbing the athlete from it working later. But he's like, there's no guarantee that they're going to get to that later point. So he's like, of course you don't want to throw the most advanced training at kids on, when they're in high school and they barely know how to move properly.
Yeah.
But like, you gotta kind of find that balance of using some of these different modalities or different techniques at the right time, where it's like, maybe this kid, if he just jumps a little higher, that's what's gonna get him recruited. So like, yeah, maybe you might think I want to use this or that method like 3 years into university, but I gotta get him there first. So now I'm kind of thinking of it the same way with the metrics. Like, you might say, oh, these metrics don't really matter in high school. Okay, but if I know that a really highly recruited high school wide receiver is going to be at least 18 on the counter movement, inches on the counter movement jump or something.
Yeah.
At least I could say, hey, kid, that's kind of under recruited. Like, we got to get you here so that at least we know physically you're ready. Like, I think it is a worthy endeavor.
Yeah, it is. Again, it doesn't dictate that it's going to transfer all the time. Absolutely not. Like, I'm not saying that. And again, I think it's just using the data and making it matter. If it doesn't matter, then disregard it, obviously. Because again, people shit on force plate data. I'm not for or against. I think there can be value in it, whether you're comparing.
Especially in the rehab now. The way I'm seeing it from a rehab perspective is incredible.
Yeah.
A couple ACL guys we're working with. And
there's definitely a place for it.
When you see those graphs and those numbers, especially with those who we have pre-injury data with, I'm like, there's no way this doesn't matter. That's double negative. But this has to matter. I'm like, when their numbers now are wildly different than when they were healthy, I'm like,
yeah,
I've drank the Kool-Aid. Like, I'm like, how can I not?
Yeah, even if it doesn't transfer to the sport itself, like if nothing else, maybe you could say, hey, like
that athlete's health at least.
These numbers might impact the session we have in the gym or on the track today. It's like, it doesn't always have to be transferred to the sport. It's like, this just might mean like, hey, we're ready to do this, or like this might mean less of this. Like, it's it can impact different things at different quantities, and maybe or maybe not. Like it's something that we're just gonna have to continue to explore. I know there's better things to obviously make it more relevant to the sport, of course. But for the sake of using the tools we have, like we have them, might as well use them. Totally. Examine it to a deeper degree and see if there's something. If not, that's okay. At least we know it doesn't matter. It might not matter. I'm not too picky on the shit, but again,
at least it's good practice for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because then when you go to use it for the pros and everything, like you're really well versed with the tool. Yeah. Now you're just using it with someone who it matters more with. Yeah. But it's doing those high school kids no harm.
No.
But we're becoming better technicians with it. So now no matter who we're serving, like, oh, it mattered for you now. Well, that's okay. I know how to use it. Like,
yeah, right. There's value to it. I think I saw a story that Coach Manny put in, because we were talking about on the podcast with Manny too. He should do a segment. He should have a round table where he has like coaches that are for force plates and coaches that don't think force plates are that valuable, or somewhere around that parallel, and just have them kind of square off a little bit and just kind of see the fors and against. That would be a freaking pretty cool podcast. So if he does put that together, I'm excited to listen to that one. But totally. I think that would be a cool endeavor. Anyway, yeah, I think that's the episode today, isn't it?
Yeah,
fuck, that's pretty fucking good. Not bad
Rants,
for the first time. Yeah.
Revelations, maybe.
Rants, raves, and revelations.
Something like that.
Yeah, we'll fucking talk about. Okay, guys, Performance Matters Podcast, as always, we're on Spotify, YouTube, and of course, Apple Podcasts. Like, subscribe, follow. This is Performance Matters Podcast, and we will see you all next time.
Peace.